kids. We are just about set for basketball. Guns 12-4 on the home hardwood this year. The Warhawks 3-10 away from home. And we are underway, and the tip will be controlled by ULM. Their starting lineup tonight. They've got the Sun Belt Conference Freshman of the Year, Michael Erdl, Marvin Jean-Pierre in the backcourt. In the post, Sam Alabakis, their forward, Sam McDaniel, Travis Munnings. And just like that, we're going to go the other way. A quick foul on Alabakis. And that's the call we've seen really all year. It started back in November. It was the point of emphasis by the officials. We've seen it the entire season. They continue to call moving on that screen up top.
No doubt they've implemented it. We see it first possession. I wouldn't be surprised if we see it on Austin Peay with the way they run too.
And the Govs with their normal starting five. The senior Trey Ivory with the basketball now. He'll dump it into Ugba. Chris Porter Button. Dayton Gum, Terry Taylor there. That's a good sign. CPP, Chris Porter Button for three.
Already showing he's going to need respect. He's hot early on.
So here's Erdl, the freshman, out of Indianapolis, Indiana. What an incredible freshman season he had. The runner is good. Sam McDaniel gets the first two for ULM.
Not a bad shot there. Kind of faded. Won't be surprised to see him pop some from outside that three-point range, too.
Nate Gum, another good-looking freshman. Good young players on the court tonight. Gum rims that one out. He's out of Bowling Green, Kentucky. Near turnover. We look at some of these early matchups here. Nice little stop and go, and he blew the layup, tipped up. It won't go. Alabakis tried to keep it alive in there.
You could tell McDaniel just wasn't working with the left hand.
Avery Ugba. The first two for the senior out of Silver Spring, Maryland, the transfer from Grambling State, and what a season he had. His one-and-done year. Ugba, OBC first-teamer, all-newcomer team. Erdl, the freshman, leaves the jumper short. Govs off to the good start, 5-2.
Now, Erdl's an exciting guy to watch. I want to see how he handles Trey Ivory on defense because he really has some moves with the ball. He's not just a stand-and-shoot kind of guy.
Quick double team to move Taylor out of the block. Good pass. Ivory finds Ugba underneath, reversed it in.
That's exactly what Ivory wants to do on every possession. He's not a shooter, and he recognizes that, but man, can he feed his teammates, and that's why he started all year long.
So Ugba with the assignment early of the top player. Travis Munnings, we talked about him, a step-back three for his first points of the night.
Yeah, surprise, surprise. Averaging 9 of those a game for this team.
Taylor banked it in, the #1 three-point shooter in the OVC, and he shows you why.
How many times you see that on film for that tournament?
Well, the Govs don't get back. Alabakis will get the lay-in, his first two.
Both these teams average right around 70 points. I'm excited to see if it's going to be quick, up and back, especially from beyond the arc if Austin Peay gets going as well.
Ugba's three. Something in the water tonight. The three ball going down, and Ugba off to the 7-point start.
And that player to watch for Austin Peay, we mentioned it early on. He will step back if you want to leave him alone.
Dayton Gum right in the hip pocket of Marvin Jean-Pierre, and he knocks it away over near the Gov bench. Interesting to see the matchups tonight. This is not a very deep Warhawk team. As the Govs, of course, they want to play inside out, get it into the post to Terry Taylor and to Avery Ugba. And then on the other side, what do you do with a guy like Travis Munnings and a guy like Sam McDaniel who could knock down the three ball? And then Erdl's very good off the dribble. So matchups at both ends we'll be watching all night. Should be very intriguing.
That's one thing that Coach Figger does well is that adjustment, especially moving into the second half. We'll find out which players he really gets a feel for, especially when you see guys like Trey Ivory and then Chris Porter Button as well. He's the guy who normally has to take on the big responsibility defensively.
Good look at Keith Richard, 17th year as a head coach, his 8th year in Monroe. It's where he played. And we'll get a call again away from the ball. And it looks like they may have the big guy again. #2 on Alabakis, again trying to set screens. He's not a big scorer, just 3 points per game, 3 rebounds, but he can set a mean screen, but his first two he set tonight have been moving.
Yeah, Alabakis that time really had a lot of movement as he tried to make his way in there. Never really set his feet in general. That's going to get that call every time.
So Jordan Harris is the 6th man. He'll come in, so that'll shift things around. A much smaller team when he comes on the floor. Harris just 5'11". Steve Harris is in for Austin Peay, along with Richard Henderson. Gum tries to keep things alive, puts it up. He draws the foul. And he'll get a chance to go to the free throw line as Ertl's going to pick it up. That'll be his first and the third on the Warhawks.
Now, there's two things in that play alone you can pay attention to, and that's Dayton Gum and his athleticism, the way he elevates off the floor. And second, ULM, in terms of rebounding, is not in the plus category. They are in the minus, where Austin Peay really has the advantage.
Yeah, Austin Peay, one of the better rebounding teams in the OVC this year. Not a big team at all, the Warhawks. And when they lose the 6'11" post player, Alabakis out of Australia, they're really small. So now we'll be anxious to see the matchups. As Ugba is out right now, Henderson is in, but Taylor on the floor.
Really can't wait to see these two right here go at it.
And a quick foul on Zach Galata, who just checked in. And man, has he been playing great basketball. Over the last 9 games, averaging 13 points a game, playing 22 minutes per game. Had 21 points all in the second half, and the Govs win against Eastern Illinois, and they needed them. Rally to beat the Panthers in the OVC tournament. To get to the Final Four, the semifinals, they lost to Belmont. Tough three put up, won't go, by Marvin Jean-Pierre.
Galata, a guy mid-season, kind of struggled in terms of shooting, but here towards late, he has really shown up defensively, though. You can't take anything away from him. That's why I'm excited to see him and Ertl go back and forth.
So Munnings with the assignment of Taylor. Galata missed his first look. Tipped up, won't go. Harris keeps it alive. And the rebound pulled down by Jean-Pierre. Deep three by Jordan Harris. Harris, 11 times he's been in double figures. The Govs outrun the Warhawks down the floor. The freshman Henderson gets the lay in.
Yeah, you can call that round 2 for Trey Ivory. Another no-look pass, and we're not even 5 minutes into this one.
5 Govs have scored, 17-7. Austin Peay off to the red-hot start. Playing very well offensively. And a bump, it's going to be another foul whistled on Galata. Having a struggle early with the Warhawks on the dribble. Headlines tonight is Nikki Peterson.
Now, with this being the first matchup between these two teams, the question, you guys.
All right, Nikki, appreciate it. She'll be visiting with head coach Matt Figger at halftime. Have tonight's player of the game and a lot of other input throughout our broadcast tonight at the John McClendon Classic here in the CIT. Already 7 games have been played and more to come. The winner will keep moving on. There's not a bracket, so the matchups will be determined after play wraps up here tonight. 4 more games on the way. We'll have a complete look at the scoreboard and the upcoming schedule in the CIT. We'll have that for you coming up at the break. Shot clock at 2. Do the Warhawks know it? They do not. Shot clock violation. Govs get the nice defensive stop. They force the turnover.
It's a big thing with home court advantage for Austin Peay. They're getting loud, and it honestly is distracting ULM late in that shot clock. You notice that they're trying to get so many passes late, not able to get a shot off.
Now the Govs have been very good at home. As I mentioned earlier, they're 12-4 at home this year. As Ugba will dial up a 3, and he hits another one. 2 threes already for Avery Ugba, and he's in double figures with 10.
Well, hello, Mr. 6'7" from beyond the arc.
Nice drive and gets the roll. Jordan Harris, very quick off the dribble. The senior out of San Antonio, Texas, the home of the Final Four this year. And Harris gets a quick drive by.
There's a point midseason as well where Steve Harris saw the guard position quite a bit. He's listed as a guard/forward. He'll play that 3-guard position a lot, but he's not afraid to dribble.
Tough shot on the fadeaway, too strong. Munnings with the 3-pointer so far, and he'll get fouled trying to get to the rim. The Govs will pick up their 3rd foul of this contest.
Yeah, this is a big opportunity for ULM because they have not scored in over 2 minutes in this ball game. Austin Peay obviously already hit the 20-point mark. This will be big for Munnings.
So Munnings has a 3, 74% free throw shooter. He's a heck of a player, all second-team Sun Belt Conference this year. He's the team's leading scorer and rebounder. As Henderson will head to the bench, the freshman, Terry Taylor, quickly back in. Munnings was held to 8 points in their last game. They lost in the quarterfinals of the Sun Belt Conference tournament.
Big contributing factor, and it's going to have a lot to do with tonight as well.
So just as you mentioned a moment ago, Harris will take over at the point because Galata has the 2 fouls, and we saw Steve do this a little bit about midway point in the season. He's a great slasher. It won't go, but it's tipped up and in. Harris will get credit. Looked like it might have been touched by one of the Warhawks.
I was just about to say, I don't think that was a tip from a governor. You can thank ULM for that one.
22-9, fast start for Austin Peay. Munnings going to go to work in the post and just moves right by Ugba and gets the free lay-in. No double team, no help defensively, and he's got 5 points. Terry Taylor, the OVC's freshman of the year. Harris going to try that short corner jumper. It won't go. We will stay here.
Yeah, Harris from that left side, kind of struggling in that baseline area. But it's weird for Austin Peay right now. Obviously, you're seeing Trey Ivory come back into the game for Steve Harris, but normally Austin Peay doesn't play very long with either Trey Ivory or Zach Galata out of the game. They are both point guards for this offense, and Steve Harris somewhat struggled in those last 3 possessions.
Porter Bunton will look inside. Again, the Govs like to go inside out with it. They prefer to get touches to Taylor and Ugba. They're 2 top players. The Govs going to turn it over. Ertl's going to come up with a steal. Here's the lob. Nobody went for it, and the layup is blown by Jean Pierre. 2 Warhawks standing and looking at it.
That was the old "you want it, I'll take it."
Ugba feeling it from 3 tonight. This one short. Warhawks will look to run. Quick 3 in transition will not go. Sam McDaniel, again, 41% behind the arc. He's hit 75 of those. That's his big weapon, shooting it from downtown. You have to get one to go in this one.
Already up and down and up and down.
Trey Ivory, one of 3 seniors on the team, put it up, won't go. Fighting for it, Taylor. It's what he does best. Offensive rebound up and in.
Terry Taylor. There's a name that in the Ohio Valley Conference tournaments you expected to hear more from this Austin Peay team, and you just didn't. If he shows up tonight, it will be a game changer.
He's 9th in the nation. That's in the NCAA with 3 offensive rebounds a game. There's a 3, and it's good. Dialed up by Michael Ertl, the Sun Belt Conference's freshman of the year.
Outside that 3-point line, there is plenty of time in this game to get on a roll. That's for both teams, but especially ULM.
Lob into Ugba, draws a double team. Too small for him there as he bangs it in off the window.
Austin Peay seems like they're scoring every single time down. ULM has got to play some defense if they want something going. They're only allowing 68 points per game on the season. Austin Peay is well on that pace.
Already 12 for Ugba. Offensive foul. Trying to make the pass in the air, and it'll be Harris picking up his first. And that'll be the 15th foul whistled on the Warhawks, and will lead us to a break in the action. 11:24 to go. It's all Austin Peay early. 26-14. All time against the OVC. And their only OVC team they played this year, they lost to Jacksonville State. And congratulations to the Gamecocks. They got a win in the CBI tournament last night. And of course, Murray State yet to play. They will be playing in the NCAA tournament tomorrow. They take on Bob Huggins in West Virginia.
Watch out. That Murray State team is strong, and if they really get on a roll.
They are really playing well. Ugba, one of the rare misses tonight, left that one short.
Favorite part about postseason basketball, you really get to see the out-of-conference play. Teams are really getting out of their comfort zone, sometimes changing up the way they play the game in order to win games.
Roderick Taylor's on the floor for the first time. He's a redshirt junior out of Texas. Munnings is their high point man with 5 so far.
He's just one of those few substitutions you mentioned.
3 ball will not go. This team will take a lot of threes. They make a lot. 9 3-pointers a game, second in the Sun Belt Conference this year. They've already made 2 tonight. 284 on the year. They're 3 away from tying their school record. 38% of their scoring will come from behind the arc. Coyd McCarthy is on for the first time. Wears 0, has the ball now. Another youngster, another freshman. He dumps it in to another freshman. A lot of diaper dandies on this young Austin Peay team. And there's one of the few veterans putting it in. Ugba, 14 points already.
Yeah, you mentioned he's a veteran, but not for the Governor's squad. He's that newcomer, and he won plenty of those awards in the OVC. What an addition to this team, especially for Coach Figger in his first year at the Governors.
8-time newcomer, made the all-newcomer team. A little hop and a turnover. Munnings trying to do it all to get his team on the board. And he will turn it over. His team doesn't turn it over a lot, just 11 per game. As you see, head coach Matt Figger, first year, all he did was win OVC Coach of the Year. Not bad in year one.
Well, when you're picked 11th and you finish third, that somewhat deserves at least a tip of the hat.
Really, no one knew what to expect out of this Austin Peay team this year with so many newcomers. And Terry Taylor winning Freshman of the Year out of Bowling Green, Kentucky. Ivory, the floater too strong. Henderson, two-hand, a man's rebound, and he put it in.
You talk about a big future in college. Richard Henderson, ladies and gentlemen, remember that name for Austin Peay because he works hard down low. Doesn't quite have the size of your average forward, but man, he'll get after it.
Been about 2:30 since the Warhawks scored until then. 3-ball out of the left corner.
Well,
and that is Brandon Newman.
Yeah, they just quieted that 6-0 run from Austin Peay. We'll find out if it sparks anything. They're still down 13.
Newman's been in double figures just 2 times this year coming in off the bench. Junior out of Hawthorne, California. He's got the rebound here. Yeah, the last game they played in that Sun Belt tournament, only 7 players as the starters play heavy minutes. And this 3, they can get right back into a ball game, and Sam McDaniel can heat up in a hurry. His first 3, he's got 5 points.
There he is, the guy, 41% from outside at three-point line, and really anything over 35 is normally considered to be somewhat impressive, but you get over that 40 mark, and man, that's lethal.
Henderson very aggressive tonight, the freshman out of Maryland Heights, Missouri. Nate Gump with Ertl on him, 2 freshmen. And he rattled it in.
Got to give him that one. Wow. When you go from that left elbow like that, especially fading away.
And we have a timeout this year. The Austin Peay getting 18 wins, 12 of those coming in conference play as they finish 3rd behind Murray State and Belmont. And this Warhawk team, they got on a run after going 1-6 to open up Sun Belt play. The 3 this time rimmed out by Harris. They finished 9-9. They come into play tonight winners of 9 of their last 13. Ugba got banged underneath, no call, but he put it off the window and in. He's got 16 points.
Certainly had the effort there, put the body into him, tried to get the and one opportunity.
And we're going to push off. Harris very quick off the dribble. That time Gum stayed right with it.
Yeah, now Harris is going to have 2, and you got to wonder what Coach Richard wants to do here.
So Alabacus, the 6'11 center, went out early after 2 moving screens. And now Harris has picked up 2 fouls. He's their 6th man. Zach Galata played briefly and picked up 2 quick fouls. Only played 2 minutes, had 2 fouls. The Govs not fouling tonight. That's a good sign. They've committed just 3. And a steal. This guy's played well off the bench. That's Brandon Newman. Playing only about 10 minutes a game. He's given them some good minutes here early as they're trying to find anyone to bring it offensively. This one is short, tipped out, tracked back down by Sam McDaniel. He's another Aussie out of Adelaide, Australia.
Nicky mentioned it earlier. Really international team. You go up and down this roster, and a lot of these guys come a long way.
Foul on Gum, his first. Just the 14th foul on Austin Peay. Yeah, McDaniel and Alabacus, 2 Aussies. Good start. Sam from Adelaide or McDaniel from Adelaide, Alabacus from Perth. Munnings, their top player out of Freeport, Bahamas. Steve Harris back in. Trey Ivory, one of the 3 seniors. Ugba and Ed Stevens, who's out with the injury. The 3 Govs that thought they had played their final game on this court on senior night against Murray State, but getting a chance to play again here tonight. Possibly with a win, could play another game here. And another win could play another game here. It just could keep going.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit before the game, and wow, you talk about soccer. That thing flew out of here. My gosh, that was certainly a kick right there. Apologies, stopped mid-sentence, but yeah, like we talked about, pre-broadcast, these guys could really hang around here as long as they so choose, depending on their play.
And again, we will have the scoreboard of the 7 games already played. 4 games Monday, 3 games last night. We have the only game in the CIT this evening. And then more games coming up. Some second round matchups have been determined. Tough drive, put it in, and he's fouled. Nice look by Marvin Jean-Pierre.
Floated to the left, but the shot with the right. Manages to make it fall with no glass at all.
Looks like Gum got his second. So Jean-Pierre will head to the stripe. Let's see if he got it or Terry Taylor. Neither one. CPB picked that one up. So number 2 on Porter Button. And Jean-Pierre will complete the 3-point play. He's a senior. He's out of Pompano Beach, Florida. Played at Miami-Dade Junior College. Had a good ball game in their last one in the tournament. 13.7 rebound effort. And their tough loss to Georgia Southern in the quarterfinals. Gum. Great ball movement. Taylor. That one off the mark right in front of us. You could see that one was off.
Exactly what ULM wanted to do there. They set up that zone. They really wanted to make you miss from beyond the arc, and that's what they did.
And they want to penetrate and kick out for the 3. Newman can't hit it this time. Govs by 11 with the ball. They've led pretty much the entire way thanks to that man with the basketball, Avery Ugba. The senior already with a huge night. Had that one blocked as they've gone back to the big guy, Alabakis, with the 2 fouls.
You know, you and I expected early on that they would really have to try to help down low due to Terry Taylor and Avery Ugba for Austin Peay, but ULM showing that zone, these last 2 possessions, they are crashing the paint, and it's worked both times.
Govs been in the straight tight man. Step back for 3 is short by Jean-Pierre. Govs have dominated the backboards tonight, holding the Warhawks, who's not a big offensive rebounding team. Very few second chance opportunities. Another turnover. And Harris able to tip it. He tracks it down and saves it to Ivory.
That's pretty big right there, because that would have been the 3rd straight possession you end up with nothing, but you end up with the ball back here without allowing ULM to get anything. That being said, Austin Peay still hasn't scored in over 2.5 minutes, so they're going to have to do something.
And the Govs averaging 73 points a game, give up 71. Gum, quick catch and shoot 3, too strong. Rebound, offensive board Taylor. No rim on Gum's shot, so Taylor unable to get it up. Shot clock violation. It'll go right back to the Warhawks. And you know, at the 4:35 mark here, Christian, the Govs have finally cooled off a bit. The Warhawks can make a little run to try to get back into it before halftime.
Well, now would be the time to do it. And you can already see Austin Peay has moved into a zone as well. So they're somewhat playing a little bit of a chess match here, going back and forth in the defensive schemes.
We'll see how the Warhawks attack it. They're going to try to penetrate. Rim down. Tough look by McDaniel.
You know, with the way these 2 teams play, I'm actually surprised that the zone is as effective as it's been just over the 5 combined possessions for both teams.
Taylor called for the travel. Thought he might have gotten tripped up, but I think he tripped over his own feet.
I think we were a little spoiled there for the first 12 to 14 minutes of that game, because we haven't seen points in over 2 minutes from either team, but specifically Austin Peay, it's been over 3.5 now.
Govs have cooled off just a tad at 47%. But again, they are dominating the backboards. 20-10. They doubled up the Warhawks as the freshman Ertl is back out there. He can heat up in a hurry. The lefty, too strong.
Tried to get something going from that right elbow. You could see his dribbling certainly gave him the space. He just couldn't knock it down.
Steve Harris, his usual active self. Very disruptive on the defensive end. Henderson's played well. Nice move for the freshman. He's got 6 points here in the first half.
He goes up just to his right, but that spin move really confused Alabakis, and that allowed for the open glass.
Averaging just 3 points, 2 boards a game, and he's got 6 already in this first half. Deep 3 off the mark. Tipping it to himself is Terry Taylor. That's a good sign for the Govs that McDaniel's yet to heat up from 3. And this pass deflected out. And it will lead us to a break. 3:08 to go before halftime. As we remember the legacy of the great man. And it will lead us to a break. 3:08 to go before halftime. As we remember the legacy of the great man, really was a innovator. Fast break basketball that he brought to the game of basketball in the 50s.
The way the game has changed, and to bring it to what it is now is really pretty incredible, which actually brings up a highlight I saw tonight. And I got to admit, the 360 in terms of the alley-oop is something I have yet to see in college basketball happen for Texas Tech tonight.
Govs get the steal. Harris hangs in the air. He can't get the finish, but he'll get to the free throw line.
Something all of his teammates compliment about Steve Harris is that he does incredible things while he's in the air. It's not so much the dribble, it's not so much the standalone shot, but when he gets up with the floater, he can really avoid a defender and draw that foul.
Foul was on Munnings, his second. So Harris, junior out of St. Louis, Missouri, 64% at the stripe this year. First one is short. Steve with 2 points off the bench. Playing about 19 minutes a game this year. 7 times he's hit double figures, averaging 6 points a game. He's had some good games against Belmont. Had his career high 20-point game in the Curb Event Center in Nashville against the Bruins. Harris gets 1 of 2. And the Govs maintain that lead.
Yeah, it's time to find out what ULM can do, because they have missed their last 5. Haven't scored in nearly 4 minutes, and Ertl was, not bad early on, but since then, ULM's really struggled.
Great defensive job. The Govs get the steal. Here's Gum on the solo run out. He'll send it in.
I'm not for sure, but Dayton Gum in the dictionary might also have the definition athleticism and or ups.
3 won't go. A rare offensive rebound put back in. Marvin Jean-Pierre, give him 5 points.
You talk about silencing the crowd quick. Austin Peay still up 14, but getting back on defense was a struggle.
Ivory looks in for Taylor. Ugbo will get it. High-low look. He'll dial up a 3. Rimmed out. Govs by 14. Great ball fake. Munnings underneath. Late up and in. Alabakis with 4 points.
I'm not for sure if you want to call that playground basketball or outstanding passing, because that was all over the place, but it got Austin Peay confused, and when you jump on a shot fake, that's going to happen.
Yeah, great ball movement. And a steal. Munnings, he will go into the open floor and get the dunk. 7 points for Munnings. He's the high point man for the Warhawks. That'll lead to a quick timeout.
Headed to Austin Peay, get the opportunity to have a coach like Coach Figger and what he's done this year, obviously with that Coach of the Year award in the Ohio Valley Conference, and then the way he's really changed the defense. I mean, my gosh, they are all over the place this year with this new squad.
Certainly paid his dues. 22 years as an assistant coach before getting this opportunity here at Austin Peay. Now the Warhawks scrambling. They're trapping with their defense. Govs trying to adjust. Shot clock at single digits. Gum on the move with 5 on the timer. Straight away 3, too strong. Taylor getting really good in this game at tipping it to himself.
You talked about it early on. Leads a lot of guys in this category of that offensive rebounding.
Got a 10-second difference in the game clock and the shot clock. Taylor had post position, didn't get the ball. But that one rimmed out. He couldn't miss early, but last few shots he's put up, this will not go down for the senior. Last shot time for the Warhawks, and you look, they could get this to single digits here at halftime.
No doubt about it. They've already brought the deficit to 10. This is a game changer.
Ertl, and a lot of contact. They'll get him for the offensive foul. It'll be his second. He is now the 4th Warhawk to pick up 2 fouls.
If you're going to dribble into that spin move on the offensive side, you cannot put that shoulder down the way that he did. And he got it right into the chest of Dayton Gum. Dayton Gum certainly showing that he could make it in Hollywood as well. Gets the foul. 5 seconds left.
Here's Ivory. Got to go quickly. Takes it all the way to the rim. Doesn't get stopped. And Trey lays it in to beat the buzzer. First two of the game for Ivory, and he beats the buzzer.
Wow. Rarely do you see that from Trey Ivory, but what a better time.
The senior. Warhawks trying to cut it down into single digits there late, as they have been battling from behind all night. Avery Ugba, the high point man in the game, with 16 points. And it's Travis Munnings with 7 to lead the way for the Warhawks. By the way, Terry Taylor pulled down 10 rebounds in that first half, just 5 points for the OVC's freshman of the year, but 5 points away from getting his 11th double-double if he can get the scoring going here in the second half. He'll get a touch here off the left block. Ivory a fadeaway after penetrating. Won't go Taylor. Offensive board, his 11th rebound. Missed it. Tipped out, and here goes Ertl up the floor for the Warhawks.
Talk about full speed.
Good assist. Laid up and in. Alabakis, the 6'11 Australian, 6 points.
But right back.
Got to get back. Ugba beats the big man down the floor, and Avery with 18 points. Always so critical, that first 5-minute segment out of the locker room in the second half, especially if you're down, as the Warhawks have been all night. What kind of fight they will have coming out. Glada's going to try it again. He came in and played 2 minutes in the first half, picked up 2 quick fouls, but he has been playing such great basketball down the stretch.
Glada knows he wants to play that tough defense, but he does not want that third foul.
And we're going to go the other way. Third time tonight we've seen Alabakis set that moving screen. Just will not stay still on that as he picks up his third foul.
Rarely do you see a player get the same exact foul called on him 3 times in a row like that.
Coach Richard just kind of shakes his head. He spent 9 years as the head coach at Louisiana Tech. May have heard of Paul Millsap, great NBA player, was one of his players in college. And he's in year number 8 at his alma mater. Porter Button can't get it to roll in. And Munnings with a rebound, keeping the Govs off the offensive glass. Govs don't get back, and the layup is good for Jean-Pierre.
You know, 2 out of the last 3 possessions for ULM, they've really taken advantage of that assist right before the basket. And that's what's been the difference maker, and Austin Peay is going to have to turn things around like they did there.
Great interior post speed, and Ugba laid it in, and Alabakis is going to pick up number 4, as he only played 11 minutes in the first half. Picked up 2 fouls very early, but he came back and played without fouling for several minutes there late in the first half, but he will head to the Pine with 4. Ugbo, 20 points with those 2 field goals here in the second half. Ugbo trails the play, tries to get another block.
Wow, the speed from Ertl there was pretty impressive. It was almost out of control impressive.
First on Harris, and the first on the Govs here in the second half.
Well, not even 2 minutes in, we've already seen 3 combined fouls. A lot slower already to start this second half than it was in the first 12 to 15 minutes of the first.
Free throw off the mark for Taylor. Just 3 of 5 on the year. Playing about 10 minutes a game is Taylor. See the block, then the foul on the follow. Or Harris had the foul on that play, beg your pardon. Second one is good. First points of the night for Roderick Taylor. This is a ULM team that struggled on the road this year, 3-10, but they've won 3 of their last 4 road games. Harris off the dribble. He'll be fouled.
Every time Harris was dribbling with that right hand, kind of lifting up his head, he kept getting bodied on each one, and took about the 3rd try, and the referee decided to call it.
Jean-Pierre gets his first. Pretty good flow in the first half, as you mentioned. Not that many free throws. In fact, just 7 total free throws. Not a foul fest, and we've had many of those this year. 3 goes, but a foul underneath. They will wave that 3 off.
It seemed as if the whistle came right as Taylor shot it, but he waved off the basket immediately.
Coach Figure wanted an explanation. He couldn't believe it.
He wasn't too happy about that one.
Foul on Taylor, trying to clear out position underneath. Now the officials will continue a discussion. Taylor bottomed that three, and Terry at 6'5" and known for being a post player, the #1 3-point shooter in the OVC, 45% behind the arc. We saw him bank one in to get things started tonight.
That's not the first time we've seen him, but every time he does it, the only reaction you can get is a little shake of the head.
Another hoop in the harm. Beautiful inbounds play. Ugba gets the lay-in.
Well,
Taylor gets his second.
Yeah, pardon me. You start to get the feeling we're just 2:08 into this second half, and already a lot of contact. We've already seen 6 fouls. So it's somewhat creeping along here, but if Austin Peay continues to make their free throws, they're really going to stretch this out.
Ugba gets it to go. He completes the three-point play this time. 23 points for the senior. Certainly wants his career to continue, and it will with a victory tonight. The Govs will move on in the CIT. As they have the 14-point advantage, they had a 16-point lead, their biggest. They've never trailed tonight. They've led from the opening tip. Ertl rimmed it out. Ugba there for the board.
Not very many attempts at offensive rebounds for ULM. You've seen a lot for Austin Peay, and they're winning in that category. But ULM's not really fighting after that offensive ball. They're shooting up and heading back.
Michael Ertl, just 3 points tonight, hit a three-pointer early in the game. The Govs have done a nice job on him. The Sun Belt Conference's Freshman of the Year, first one for ULM since they joined the Sun Belt back in the 07-08 year.
Wow, I thought that one went off the foot of Porter Bunton, but they're going to say the other way around.
I'm going to say it went off of Sam McDaniel. So another turnover. See if the Govs can cash in here with more points.
Biggest thing for ULM at this point is get some kind of momentum going. Somebody has to step up. Munnings, McDaniel, some guys that are used to shooting it, especially the Trey. Go for it. You've got to get something going.
They'll get a 3-second call. Ugba begging for it. Govs wouldn't throw it in there to him, and he got caught in the lane. So the Govs with the turnover. Not many of those tonight. That's number 7.
And you can already tell the game is really slowing down, and Ugba is not really moving so much in the post, but every single time, Ertl heads down fast like that.
Glada had a lot of ball, but the official trailing the play says Zach got Ertl. And that is number 3 on Glada, who just cannot stay on the floor tonight because of the foul trouble.
You know, thought for a moment, I won't be cliche, but the Boo Birds are out for good reason, and that is Ertl looked right over at Glada. They both laughed at each other, and Ertl stepped to the line to get that ball.
4 points for Michael Ertl as he hits the free throw. Just 63%, the freshman out of Indianapolis.
Yeah, you
get a look
it.
at it.
Oh, man.
All ball from that angle. The official trailing the play, made the call. And what worries you sometime when you've got an offensive player like Ertl, who's been quiet tonight, they can get themselves to the free throw line sometime, knock a couple down. They see the ball go through the net. They start feeling it, getting back into the flow offensively. We'll see if anything develops out of that. He's a good young player.
Plenty of time left. I mean, but now you're getting to see ULM go back to that zone, and it's working.
Pierre with the steal and a great fake to get by Gum, and he laid it in.
Yeah, smooth move to that left side. It got Gum to slightly move with him, and he took it to the right off the glass.
9 points for Jean Pierre, the senior from Pompano Beach, Florida. There's a deep 3. Taylor won't go. Tipped out by Ugba, but right into the hands of Sam McDaniel. McDaniel's been quiet with just 5 points. He's their second leading scorer on the year at 15 a night. Harris said he was fouled. No call. Harris had it knocked away. Steve Harris this time. And I think it'll be Jordan Harris that's going to pick this one up. That is his 3rd. 16 foul already on that. That is his 3rd. 16 foul already on fouls on the Warhawks here through the first 4:07. And Steve Harris at the line. He's 1 of 2 from there tonight. The junior from St. Louis. 3 points for Steve tonight. Looking for his first second half points, or point of the game. It goes.
Something worth mentioning at this point, Jean-Pierre for ULM is the only guy that's even close to double digits with 9. But on the other side, leading all scorers, Avery Ugba has 23. So not even Austin Peay is spreading the ball around. He's taking care of it.
Near steal there. Ertl's going to get a look. The lefty from 3 missed it. Good closeout that time by Ivory. And we get a foul underneath, battling for that rebound.
That's some of the closest we've seen to offensive rebounding from ULM here tonight. Not very many of them are staying after, and I know that it wasn't exactly the best shot, so they could see it early on, but that definitely helped for this possession.
No foul call. They just said it was off Harris. Good deny. Reaching around, Ugba comes up with a steal. And Harris back to Ivory. Govs will set it. Good front of the post in there to Taylor, and the Govs are going to just throw it away. You know, we were worried as Coach Figure, he's not happy with the start of play here in the second half, but we thought there might be some rust after being off 13 days since the Govs last played, losing to Belmont in the OBC tournament semifinals. But they got off to the red-hot start by getting it into Ugba. They've looked more ragged here this half after the intermission as McDaniel gets it to go. He's got 7.
A lot of times when guys don't get that in-game experience, it's really with every sport. A lot of times coming back, it's tough. You don't really know what to expect. And you saw CPB, as he shoots that, knock down the 3 early on. He didn't have much rust.
5 points for him tonight. Hit the opening 3 of the game. And he gets his first field goal since that point. 51-40. McDaniel and Taylor fade away, won't go. Good follow by Munnings.
Munnings. That is a name that we should be hearing more for this UL Monroe team.
Yeah, Munnings just a junior. Again, he made the Sun Belt Conference second team, top 10 in 5 Sun Belt Conference categories. Already a 1,000-point scorer. Foul on the inside. Jean-Pierre will pick up his second. 17 fouls, so with 14:04 to go, bonus time for Austin Peay.
Really for Austin Peay, I mean, so far, at least in this game, free throws haven't been too much of an issue because they've had somewhat of a healthy lead. But now that it's down to 9 points, you talked about it, ULM can really gain some momentum off of seeing the basketball fall. And anyway, as obviously he knocks down the first there. But being down 10 at this point is nothing out of reach with over 14 minutes left to play.
So the Govs dropped 2 of their last 3 here at home, despite the really great home record this year. Losing to Tennessee Tech, losing the home finale to Murray State. What a night that was with the weather, with the tornado warnings, and then the leak in the roof, which led to an over 3-hour delay in that final home game of the year against the Racers. Murray State won it. They clinched the OBC regular season title and then went on and won the tournament in Evansville. But the Govs made a nice run. They beat Eastern Illinois, got into the semifinals, lost to Belmont for the second time this year. A very good Belmont team.
A very good Belmont team that was very good on that given night as well.
Right, they shot the lights out in the Ford Center in Evansville. Govs maintaining that double-digit lead, play a little more ragged this half. Taylor's been quiet offensively, just 5 points, does have double-digit rebounds. Porter Butt gets it down to Terry, the freshman of the year. The OBC puts it in.
No problem, send it down in to Terry Taylor, and especially on the left side, he'll get the job done.
Harris, who's played a lot of minutes, their 6th man, works on the dribble here. Ertl cuts back door. Great help defense by the Govs, and they'll have to recycle. Munnings, I thought we would see a lot more of that, of him just trying to take his defender off the dribble to the rim.
We've seen a lot of Ertl, we've seen a lot of Sam McDaniel, but Munnings is a guy who, even though he now leads his team in points, we haven't heard his name as much as ULM wants to see him really drive like that. Be strong, take advantage of the fact that you are the statistical leader for your team, at least in terms of points and rebounds.
Porter Button off the curl, drives it, missed it. Tough rim, and McDaniel pulls down the board. Harris steps into the three. That would have been a big shot. Despite it being an 11-point game, it just feels like ULM is hanging around in this game and could possibly make a run. They've not been able to get it to single digits much at all since very early on.
It hasn't really been so streaky either here in this second half. It's been pretty consistent. Austin Peay keeping that 10, 11-point lead, and that was too easy for college basketball.
Someone missed an assignment. Taylor gets back-to-back buckets. He's 1 point away from reaching his 11th double-double on the year. Munnings turned it over. He went 1 on 4 that time. Porter Button will put on the break, swing it for a Harris three, left corner, good.
And Kadoink, what a way to go right into a break.
We will head to a break. Timeout called.
We know there's a lot of unfinished business to do. Now, next year will be fun to watch, but tonight, the Governors and, of course, seniors Avery Ugba and Trey Ivory hope their postseason play will continue. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Nikki. Yeah, it has been a really good year, and year number 1 for Coach Figures. Really, no one had any idea what to expect. So many new faces and a really exciting young team. I don't think they'll be picked 11th next year when the preseason poll comes out.
You may be right, but as much as we can talk about this Governor team, and they are up 16 right now, ULM has really been a little bit of an underdog themselves.
Munnings will get the steal. He's picked it up, gets it to Ertl, lays it in. 7 tonight for Ertl. Cuts the lead down to 14.
I'm curious to see what Austin Peay wants to do the rest of this game. You still got about half of this second half of the game left, 10:50 to be exact now, but will you slow down the half court, or do you continue to rush it the way that you've done well, especially putting it in down low and letting guys like Avery Ugba and Terry Taylor finish off the glass?
Taylor's three off the mark. Govs had hit 4 of their last 5 before that Taylor miss. He's just 1 point away again from getting another double-double. Foul on the 3.
It's not the guy that you want to foul. He's 80% from that free throw line.
Taylor's going to get the foul. And it
ball earlier for ULM as well. They have 4 tonight, and we really haven't seen anything from beyond the arc in this second half.
Free throw time for McDaniel. 8 points for him tonight. Sam's out of Adelaide, Australia. Played at Southeast Iowa Community College before coming to Monroe. 80% on the year. Only going to get 2, so they say it was not a three-pointer when he was fouled by Taylor. Still a lot of time. 12-point game. Delata's going to get an open look from 3 and bangs it in.
That's exactly how you draw it up. Really deceive the defense. Try to get them to look low. They tried to double team Ugba. Zach Glata comes right around top of the key. Great shot.
Team leading 56 made three-pointer this year for Glata, the junior from O'Fallon, Missouri. Ivory right with the freshman Ertl. Three is good.
Hello.
Munnings.
That's what we've been waiting for. Something from these Warhawks, especially from beyond the arc, and he would be the guy to do it.
Now 14 quiet points. Has not been that dominant, huge factor. We've seen flashes of him off the dribble and from the perimeter. Just a great all-around player. Second team All-Sun Belt selection. He's their leading scorer and rebounder on the season. Glata this time gets it blocked by Harris. Stays with it. 5 on the shot clock. Ivory will step into it. The runner's good.
And hello from 17 feet. Trey Ivory, a guy that had that huge play at the end of the first half, decides to put 2 more on the board.
4 points for the senior from Louisville. His only double-figure game so far in his career. If you're going to get double digits, get it against the best team in the country. Had 10 points against Virginia back early in the season. But he's been the point guard, the distributor, the only four-year player on this roster. Step back three, way short by Munnings.
Big emphasis on an Austin Peay possession here is the last one they took all the way to the end of the shot clock. And, well, I'll stop talking. You can take it from here.
No answer for him tonight. Coach Richard knew he would be a load down on the inside hug, but he has just continued to put up huge numbers tonight. Got off to just an incredible start. Put the Govs on his back, and he carried them for the first 10 minutes of the game, and they built the big lead. It's tough to stay with him. Munnings going to get the layup. Ugba's going to foul him. He's going to help him up, but he is just too quick off the bounce.
That's what you need from Munnings, though. If you're a Warhawk, you know that he's the guy that's really going to bring you back into this one. Austin Peay continues to extend their lead. They're 1 point away from reaching the average that ULM normally allows. Their offense has been very consistent tonight. The longest they've gone is about 2 minutes without points.
Munnings 0 of 3 at the stripe tonight. Normally a 74% free throw shooter. We near the 8-minute mark. The Govs continue to hang on to that double-digit lead. Kind of playing in spurts here in the second half, as they had the foot on the gas pedal in that first half, playing really well after 13 days off. Jean-Pierre picks up his third. 18th foul on the Warhawks.
You said early on that the Warhawks weren't going to have a lot of players play tonight, and as we go down the list, you're absolutely right. Those starting five, well, pardon me, except for one in Alabakis, the rest of them have seen large amounts of minutes, 29, 29, 28, 31. These guys have really been in the majority of this game.
And that's the way they play. Very little depth. Alabakis would play more, but he's in foul trouble. 4 tonight. Porter Buttons look good at the stripe. 3 for 3 tonight. 8 points for CPB, as we call him, the redshirt junior. He's out of Bowling Green. One of 3 players from Bowling Green, Kentucky, on the roster. (69-53), under 8 to go.
For ULM, of course, you've got plenty of time. I get that we're just under 8 here, but you've really got to get moving just like that. He's the guy to do it.
That's a tough assignment for Ugba to try to stay with Munnings so quick. Nice cut to get open. Glada is left open. Pump fake over Harris. 3 won't go. Ugba the offensive rebound. They'll get the foul. Looks like McDaniel will get this one to lead us to a break. And we'll head to a timeout. 69-55. Time with 7:32 to go, but they have played from behind all night long, as the Govs have never trailed in this one.
That's one reason why, right there. And although that was somewhat of a lucky bounce right back to Steve Harris, the offensive rebounds for Austin Peay have been a game changer.
Yep, as expected tonight, they have dominated on the glass. There's a little runner by Harris. 9 tonight for Steve. The Govs are going to show a little pressure.
Yeah, pardon me, just pushing that right hand. Hey, something special. It's tough to practice that shot, but when he gets up in the air, somehow makes it fall.
Govs doing a little matchup, and Ertl, no one really knew their assignment there, what they were exactly running, trying to mix into a zone, and Ertl went to the open spot, knocked home the 3. 7 out of his 10 coming here in the second half. Steal by McDaniel. Ertl got it blocked by Ugba.
Well, one thing you don't do in transition is try to shoot against Avery Ugba, whether that's down in on a fast break into the paint or way out on that perimeter. That's really a lot of length at 6'7", and when you're Michael Ertl at 6'2", especially on the run, that's tough.
Well, that last 3 that Ertl hit set the school record. 288 made threes this year for the Warhawks. Previous school record of 287 back in the 06-07 year. So this team that lives and dies by the three, they've made more than any other Warhawk team in history. As Harris with a nice drive by. He's got 4 off the bench tonight. That lead is at 11. Ugba, great cut. Wouldn't go, but he got hit. It's like on top of the head there in the foul. This should be McDaniel. First on McDaniel. Back to the stripe goes Ugba. 6:05 to go in an 11-point game for a team that shoots a lot of three-pointers. This not out of the woods yet. They could get back in a hurry if they could get hot from 3.
Does not take long when you get things going from beyond the arc. But that being said, I don't know if we've ever been so excited to pick a player to watch as Avery Ugba has been more than just that. Make it 27, ladies and gentlemen.
27, you hit it. And Ugba already this year, his high point game came on the road. One of the biggest wins of the year for this young Austin Peay team was down at Jacksonville State. They swept the Gamecocks this year, but that was a huge win at the Pete Matthews Coliseum. He had 35 points in that one. And he is on his way to getting close to that mark. Number 4 on Galata just can't stay on the floor tonight. Has 1 3-pointer, but very few minutes as he picks up his 4th foul. Picked up 2 in 2 minutes when he first checked into the game in the first half. 13-point game. Under 6 to play. And a tie-up. Taylor reaching in on McDaniel. Possession arrow will go to Austin Peay.
Just good defense. Who wants it more? At this point, that's all it is. It's a question of who wants it more. And a lot of times, you'd see Coach Figger, get really upset with his team at this point in the game because he really wants them all in all the time. But right now, he seems to be calm and collected because even though his team's up 13, obviously it's still in reach. Seems to be content with the way they're playing.
Govs have forced 15 turnovers tonight. They're 12th in the nation, forcing 16 turnovers a game from their opponent. Gum, a couple of bounces on the rim. There's Taylor, another rebound.
Surprise, surprise.
CPB rims out a heartbreak 3. Taylor comes up with it, throws it down.
There's the left hand Terry Taylor loves. He even got the good positioning to leave himself wide open for that one.
Double-double, number 11. Taylor, 11 points, 14 rebounds tonight for the OVC's Freshman of the Year. Jumper good. Munnings right over Ugba. 20 for him tonight. We wondered when he would get it going. 13-point second half for Munnings. And the Warhawks just keep hanging around. Can't get it to single digits, though.
Coach Figger somewhat signals, it's just time to set up the offense, really go through.
Now McDaniel on the move. Dropped off the bounce pass at Ivory, read it. Kicked it over into the end zone. Steve Harris back in. Dayton Gum will exit. Alabakis back on the floor with the 4 fouls. The big man, 6'11". Just a sophomore, not a big scorer, rebounder.
And foul trouble has really hurt the Warhawks in that category right there. And by that, I mean Alabakis. Been sitting for a long time.
He does have 6 points tonight. He's doubled his season's average of 3. He didn't score in their last game when they lost in the quarterfinals of the Sun Belt Tournament. And a turnover on the inbounds. That'll drive Coach Keith Richard crazy. We hit the 4-minute mark and a foul out on the floor right in front of the official. It'll be number 4 on Jean Pierre.
Govs up 13 at this point, and you can already tell, first of all, Coach Figger's sitting, and he's drinking water. All right, and we've got 4 minutes left in this game, so he's obviously a little bit comfortable. As you see, you get a look at him right there. But with CBB going to the line, who's really not bad at 72% on the year, this is the point where Austin Peay really has to just slow down that half court. Get the passes around, look down low. Your go-to guys are obviously still Avery Ugba and Terry Taylor. But then on the defensive side, do what you need to do. Stay disciplined and don't send them to the line.
Porter Bunt was 4 for 4 until that trip. He missed them both. He's trying to hit double figures for the 10th time this year. The Warhawks have one more run. Ertl's going to draw the foul. Trey Ivory picks up his first. That'll lead us to the final. All well tonight. 18 assists. They come in averaging 13 a game. Austin Peay actually at 48%. The Warhawks shooting 49% in the game, but they've turned it over 16 times tonight. The Govs with 20 points off the turnovers. Sunbelt's freshman of the year, Michael Ertl, out of Indianapolis at the stripe, shooting 2. He is 3 of 3 from there tonight. 63% on the year, gets them both.
Look at that. They want to press. Going to have to at this point.
Govs in the open floor. Ugba gets hit. Now the Govs just handled that pressure so easily, and that's what you do. When you break the press, you attack it. Alabakis will foul out. 6 points for him tonight.
And it's not like he had those fouls over the course of a long period of time. He's played less than 14 minutes tonight.
So Harris will come back in. So the Warhawks have to go small again. But at this point, 3:37. They're down 11. They're going to be pressing, scrambling. They've been giving up size all night with Alabakis not on the floor much at all with the foul trouble. But now you're going to see a lot of trapping. Pressure in the backcourt is Ugba. That's really the only area he's struggling tonight, is trying to knock down free throws.
Well, at 27 points and 2 for 4 from three-point range, especially for the big guy. Not bad, but yeah, like you said, missed the second one as well.
The Govs tonight, despite a quiet night from Zach Galata, they've got 18 bench points, as Harris and Henderson, who played really well in the first half, haven't seen much out of the freshman here in the second half. McDaniel didn't square up on that three. Kind of leaning on it as we near the 3-minute mark.
And when you get closer to the end of the game, you just can't go through the offensive motions that slow. That was a good 15 seconds there that they're taking off that clock. Got to come down, just pull the trigger, because you got two guys you know can shoot it. And if they can get hot, you can get back in this game. But right now, the crowd getting back into it for Austin Peay.
Ivory with 5 on the timer, tries the three, won't go. And Harris on the move. You got to guard the three-point line, which they want to penetrate and kick. It's going to be an offensive foul. Harris over penetrates that time. And Jordan picks up foul number 4. So this Warhawk team, 3 years ago, 2015, made a big run in the postseason in the CBI, went all the way to the championship round. They lost to Loyola Chicago. You may be familiar with that name. They pulled off a big upset today in the NCAA tournament.
Austin Peay doing a great job of getting that ball around, really using up that shot clock.
Porter Button right down the lane, lays it in.
Thought for a moment we might see a dunk, then maybe a finger roll, but just decided to drop it in there.
10th time he's hit double figures with 11 now. As we hit the 2-minute mark, Govs by 13. They led by 12 at the break. Biggest lead tonight has been 16. They pretty much maintained that double-digit lead all night long. They've never trailed in this game.
Don't expect it to change anytime soon. Coach Keith Richard is already sending him back.
Porter Bunton, a lot of contact. Officials will let it go. It's going to go over to ULM. Just really tonight, you know, with 1:37 to go, the Govs have just come out and taken care of business this evening. Very workmanlike effort. Got the big lead early, and they've been able to maintain it, holding off any run the Warhawks have tried to put up.
That first half was exciting. You talk about back and forth, especially let's focus on those first 10 minutes. But Austin Peay never let up after that. That was the difference maker, and ULM started to allow those turnovers. And they've certainly changed the outcome of this game. 22 points off turnovers for the Govs. Check out the score.
Well, we were concerned with the rust. The Govs not playing in 13 days, but no rust there. Galata hits the three right in front of the Govs bench.
Must have really wanted to get that 80-point mark.
And Zach can't stay on the floor. He's going to get another foul. He just kind of talks to the official on the way out. He'll foul out with 6 points on 2 3-pointers tonight. Zach now with 57 on the year to lead the Govs.
Now Coach Figger's really bringing in the rest of the crew.
Ugba will hear it from the fans. 27 points for Avery tonight.
Standing ovation, well deserved. 27 points, not too shabby, Mr. Ugba.
Ertl continues to knock down free throws. 5 of 5 tonight for the good-looking freshman out of Indianapolis. Averaging 14 points per game over his last 13 games when the Warhawks really kicked it in, made their run to get to 5th place in the conference.
You could blame this on turnovers. You can blame this on the failed opportunities to rebound for ULM, but Austin Peay has shot 10 more shots from the field. And even though they're sitting very similar in terms of field goal percentage, Austin Peay has just had more numbers.
Senior Ivory dribbles it down, fade away, missed it.
Yes,
another rebound, yeah. Derry Taylor, another double-double for him tonight. And the Govs will hold it.
None other than the 4-year senior right there holding it to finish out the clock.
And the Govs will get this win tonight. The fans come to their feet. Great effort tonight by Austin Peay. They're now 13-1 when they hold their opponents under 70 points. Nice defensive effort, and the Govs get the win. 80-66 is the final score tonight. Austin Peay improves to 19-14 on the year. The Warhawks season will come to an end at 16.